What up, gamers? I'm Jason, and today on Dice and Dragons, I'm joined by my special guest. We are back. We are doing a post-mortem. It is over only, like an hour ago on Marvel Zombies by CMON Games. So I'm going to let our guests introduce themselves. For those of you that are a fan of this specific show, you should know who they are. But if you're new, well, you're going to find out right now.
Hey, everybody. I'm Rob and
Anna Marie
from the Meeple Dungeon out here in Kelowna, BC. And you can find us on Twitter and YouTube and our own podcast on all your major podcasting sites, the Meeple Dungeon.
Hey, folks. Ryan here of Bridge City Board Gamers here in Saskatoon, formerly of the Cardboard Conjecture podcast. And you can follow me on Twitter at Mista Rau 643 to catch up on all the lovely things that I've been doing in the gaming world.
Awesome. So just to give you a breakdown as to what we will be doing for this, we're going to take a look at the stuff that came out since we released our original video. So we're going to do a quick rundown of the add-ons. We're going to focus on some excess or value in the add-ons. Then we're going to talk about where we ended up in this campaign and if we're going to upgrade or not. So what we're all buying, well, for those who watched the first episode, you can go back and check it out if you want, but spoilers, we're all getting a copy of this game.
Yes, we are.
Just how much are we spending? How insane Marvel fans are we? Well, the Pledge Master Ryan booted up, and the last one we talked about was Fantastic Four. So I think what came out after that was it Guardians?
Yes.
I think just slightly.
I think when we recorded, the only additional set was the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
And then I think the next morning, Guardians, I think, was announced.
Yeah, like the day we were releasing the video.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, where we got here. So, we covered Undead Pledge, Resistance Pledge, Galactus Pledge in the other ones. And then since then, at the very top here, they, of course, did the CMON thing to do, which is in the final, 48-hour push or something like that. They give you, the gameplay all-in and the all-in pledges. So you can get almost everything there. So I will just, and there's the Devourer pledge, gets you the Galactus.
Why don't we just talk a little bit about those pledges, what's in there? I mean, we're going to really go into the breakdown. So the Hungry pledges, that gameplay all in, minus some of the big exclusives, no Galactus, and none of the that special artist pack, which is essentially a few heroes retooled a little bit. And, like Old Man Wolverine, but you already have Wolverine, but this is Old Man Wolverine. You're just missing those from that pledge. So $40 discount. It's not bad. It's not great.
You get one of these. You get one of these like smaller, kind of like quote unquote free.
Yeah.
So I think it's okay, but
it's not awful. But it's like you said, it's not great, but it's not awful.
Yeah, and if
it's not Galactus.
And if somebody thought, I can just get a Hungry pledge and then I'll just go add on a Galactus, well, you just may as well just get the Devourer pledge, because if you do Hungry pledge plus Galactus, it comes out to $610, and the Devourer pledge is $615.
Get the artist pack.
Yeah.
So
also get the artist pack
you get those extra 6 characters.
Yeah.
So Devourer pledge, only thing extra, Galactus, and the artist pack, as well as all of the stretch goal and daily bugle unlocks that you also get as well.
So I gotta say, I think that's probably the best pledge in terms of value-wise out there. I do not think it's a great value, but if you're looking at where CMON's gone in the last couple of campaigns, taking a look at Marvel United, also taking a look at what they did with Cthulhu Death May Die, and then that having being a much more slimmed down campaign, I think it's solid value. It's right in the wheelhouse. It's not as great value as the He-Man was, though. That He-Man all-in seemed to be just a lot more value.
Yeah. That's for sure.
Huge discount.
Yeah, it was huge. Yeah. That was the biggest discount, I think, of all of these large Kickstarters.
With these ones, $40 or $50, it does seem a bit much for me, just because the gameplay is not changing, right? They're just adding in a few things. They're adding in a couple cards. but I don't think they're not all totally different games. Like they add a few things in.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
So do each one of these, like, does the Fantastic Four, is that a separate scenario, or is that just adding people to
with
use?
their own cards and
All of the boxes will have custom scenarios. Now, some aren't going to be necessarily all that different. Others do add some big changes. So the Fantastic Four one does actually have a whole new game mode in it, where you're
Okay.
under siege. You've got the siege mode that you get with that one.
Okay. So okay.
So that's what they call under siege. It's so the scenario is designed around you, like defending the Baxter building.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to go into the actual like updates to kind of see what all these, because right on the main page here, they don't really give a lot of detail on what do each of these separate little expansions
do.
you give you with the gameplay. They just give you all the fancy components, which is obviously what everybody wants.
Yeah.
But I think you have to go into the comments. Sorry, not the comments, the updates.
Yeah.
So one thing I had noticed on here that, because they say after each pledge, it says plus all applicable stretch goals. There's not one pledge level that says all stretch goals, which I thought was funny, even with the all-in like 610 super pledge.
So I can explain that. So they've been doing this for a long time with Zombicide. So what they do is they'll have characters that are tied to specific.
That's what I said.
That's what she thought. Yeah.
That's exactly it. So as you see here, you've got the 4 Kickstarter exclusives under siege, where you see like Super Skrull and then the zombies. You're not getting those if you don't get under siege.
Right.
They can actually come in like a smaller box, which is annoying, and you just kind of have to figure out a way to like cram them in whatever box you're.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
That's what I was thinking, but then it did. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. It did still seem a little bit weird that for the all in the 610, that it didn't just say all stretch goals, because you think all of them would be applicable because there's nothing you're losing or you're missing out of that pack, right?
It should be everything.
No, it would be everything, because if you get Clash of Sinister 6, you're also
going to get
these things as well.
Yeah. That's, that's where they get you, because I was like, when we were figuring out what we were going to get in this one, that was my question. Like, so you're not going to get all the stretch goals. You're probably only getting the ones that are tied to the scenarios that you get.
Yes.
So when we're trying to pick out which ones should we get, which ones shouldn't we get, I know we were kind of humming and hawing about the Sinister 6, because there are a lot of like kind of half and half on that one. But then you've got that cool stretch goal for that Doc Ock mini.
Yeah.
And it's like, would we have to give up that? So
From what I understand is,
Scroll down, you just passed him.
Yeah, I went past him, because it says all the extras being added to your pledge. It doesn't matter which pledge level you go with, you're going to get the promo box of all of these things. Or am I misunderstood?
No, you're correct there, Ryan. Like all of these are going to be this is essentially the promo box. So I do believe everyone's getting Doc Ock.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes it better.
In this section where it says stretch goals, you get all these zombie heroes, which Blue Knight, that was awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
That one, that was pretty cool. When you go through all of these,
Giant Man,
just gigantic thing. And when you go through all of these are all going to be part of any.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay, so then it's just those little extra ones underneath.
Yeah.
That are shown. Okay.
And plus all of the daily.
There you go.
Yeah. All of them are going to be part of every pledge.
Oh, Dark Phoenix.
Which does make just like a base game pledge pretty worth it if you're going to get all of this other extra stuff on top of it.
Absolutely.
For those people that are interested in resale value and stuff, these boxes tend to go for a lot on the aftermarket.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know the Unspeakable box for Cthulhu Death May Die jumped all the way up to like $300. I had to buy the Lightbringer pledge pack for Massive Darkness, but luckily I got it right after the game came out, so it still was like only $100. But still, that's a lot. There's a lot in it. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't cheap.
Like these promo boxes, they're huge.
Yeah.
And that's why when you're down below, you see these stretch goals that are specifically tied to boxes. So then with Red Skull, you've got Hydra, which gives you some new enemies depending on the modes with those Hydra troopers. You also have the Red Skull, who's going to be fighting the heroes and the zombies. And I'm really curious as to how that's going to actually play out when you're playing it together.
Yeah.
I really don't know how it's going to work, and I'm very curious.
Yeah, because they had a Thanos that was doing the same thing, right? Yeah. One of the was he a stretch goal? Was Thanos?
I think he was in the
was in the Guardian box.
Oh, he was in the Guardian box. Okay, I got it. Okay, yeah. So Hydra Resurrection got you a whole bunch of new things, and then Clash of the Sinister Six got a lot of really cool things going on in there.
So I think we need to talk about Clash of the Sinister Six, because I think that is probably the best box value-wise, because you are getting a PvP game mode. Now, I don't know about playing Zombicide PvP. However, I could totally see myself doing it with this game. Will it happen often? No. Julie and I are going to play PvP maybe if we're doing a review of it, but if anyone knows, if you try to review all the content for a Zombicide game that's like freaking channels is devoted to zombies, one doesn't typically happen. But I don't know. I think that's got the best value overall, like $50.
I think, anytime that an expansion will bring a new way of playing a game, it just increases that variability, which automatically a lot of people will convert into, that's value. I can play it another different way.
Yeah.
So,
Hydra Resurrection at $50. I'm not sure. That seems fairly standard. It's almost like paying retail, but you're getting a little extra.
Yeah, and then there was there was Thanos. There's the Guardians box at $40, which is pretty decent.
That's a good deal. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one where, as you see, you're actually not getting anything new really. That's why it's $40. There's no tiles. It's
no tiles.
Heroes and Thanos that's just changing things up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And Howard the Duck. And Howard the Duck.
And the dog.
Worth it all in its own, right?
I think I might just
Cosmo.
Yeah. I'd probably just feed Howard to the zombies. I'd be like, so annoying.
But his power is going to be like ridiculously overpowered, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, that's the one thing I'll say about Zombicide. If you get the stretch goal boxes and you go all in on everything, you will find the overpowered heroes. Julie's favorite hero in Green Horde is the character that's based on Wonder Woman, and she gets an extra point of damage on whatever thing she does. So normally you need like a 3 damage weapon, which is harder to find in the game. But she starts out with a 2 damage weapon, and then like the abominations or the big bad show up. She's like, I'm just going to run over there and kill them. Totally broken. But it's fun, so I don't care.
You know what? Whatever makes it fun.
Yeah. And we ran into this with the Marvel United, because I don't think all of this stuff goes through the proper playtesting protocols. They're just throwing over because you ran into scenarios in Marvel United. They're like, this is unwinnable. How the heck do we never do this? Or like, what would be the combination of heroes that would beat this scenario? There's so many of them. I'm not going to play all of the combinations to figure it out.
And that's a math teacher, so there are lots of combinations.
There's lots of them. Yeah. And okay, now here's an interesting one that we brought up before we started recording was the Sentinel Strike.
Love it.
Expansion, giving you gigantic.
It's awesome. And
3 gigantic Sentinels and Professor X.
I just don't know if it's worth the $40. That's the question I have. I think that in terms of the stuff you're getting in the plastic, it's reasonable for retail prices.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure how that's going to play.
That was my question too, because I'm like, well, they're like robots. So like where, they can't really be turned into zombies. So are you fighting them and the zombies
There's
at the
going to be on
same
the
time?
board. There's going to be on the board
Just being a nuisance?
just zapping things left, right, and center.
Yeah.
Don't get caught in the crosshairs.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's more. Yeah, exactly. I think they're just going to be killing everything that moves, right?
I just wondering if you can incorporate them with Galactus, and if they try to fight Galactus, and then all you do is you just take Galactus' piece and you smash them.
Yeah.
With that though, you might be sad because you just kind of ruin your minis, but I don't know. Part of me would really want to do it. I need 2 boxes that I convince myself in buying 2. I don't know.
He would just be like, bing, just flick them. Aw.
Yeah, so we're not. I don't know if we're. Oh no, I know Rob's in on the Sentinels though.
Yep,
He's gonna
that's
be-
happening.
Yeah. Okay, and then we got into these things, the Artist's Special Edition set, which Jason already had mentioned a little bit earlier, which you're just getting some alternate sculpts and some alternate art of some already existing.
Yeah.
Well, their powers are changed slightly. So they said those are not the exact same hero cards. So what you're getting, like, because it's Old Man Wolverine, the powers are a little bit more tailored to Old Man Wolverine. So I'm not sure what they're doing with Spider-Man. Like, is that actually like superior Spider-Man? So
Yeah.
a little bit more tailored to be like Doc Ock, Peter's body.
Yeah, they said it was.
It might have been said, I just don't remember because I read that a while ago. But they did mention that they're not going to have the exact same power set.
I think they said it was geared towards specifically the artist who drew them. They're like, and the characters that he created for those specific comics. So maybe it's like a certain,
like maybe a Peter that is like physically stronger, but maybe not as agile, and the other one's more agile but not as strong.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
Yeah, so you do get specific skills in Zombicide that like will be on your card that'll be standard. So it could be that you're going to use the same power cards that you have, but you'll have like a different hero card where like when you get to level like yellow, it'll be different than what you would have on the other card.
yeah.
I'm excited for this to be my first dip into Zombicide.
Yeah.
I think if you enjoy this, you're probably going to end up going down the rabbit hole with at least another one.
Uh-oh.
we do have Green Horde here, so she just hasn't played it.
You haven't played Green Horde, and do you have the stretch goal box too?
No, we just have the core box. That's it.
Still very
I got it really cheap. Like it was just like an opportunity to
Great
grab.
value.
Great value. Yeah, I just got it because it was there and it was available, and I said, sure.
Why not?
I walked into one of my local game stores actually that does CMON Kickstarters, and they happen to have like Green Horde like on the wall, and I was like, I'll take it. That's kind of what happened.
Yep.
So Artist Special Edition, that's for the collectors, right?
$25 for 1, 2,
Pretty
3,
good.
5 miniatures is totally fine.
I thought that value was really good for that one.
Yeah.
Especially when it was first announced, I thought it was an art book.
Oh,
Like I didn't even really look at it. I was like,
Well, usually-
some art thing. Or
Usually they'll say like, artist edition or artist something, and it's usually like the art book. But this was actually more figures and new skills, like you said. So I like that one.
I mean, an individual Asmodee miniature for Descent and Imperial Assault was $15. So it's a good price. The artist boxes have always been like fairly well priced. They get to be a lot more expensive in retail.
Yeah.
And I mean, this one says it's exclusive, so I guess it's not coming to retail, but I think for what you're getting, it's well worth the money.
Yeah.
For sure. Yep.
how about we get to two things that always grind my gears?
I was just gonna get to that too, Ryan. But you go ahead.
Go ahead.
Tile set and the plastic tokens. CMON, what are you doing? Make these standard.
Okay, so the tile set is a little different with Zombicide. I'm going to do what I always do when I'm calling it for what it is. Excess.
Excess.
You do not need these tiles. These tiles are for the people that want to play, that have everything, and they want to play an epic 12-player like game of Zombicide. That is the only reason to buy these tiles. Now, it's 32 double-sided tiles. If you're creative enough and you have everything, you have enough tiles to make the maps that you want. because essentially this is just a duplicate of everything you already have. Actually, I was thinking Invader tiles because I accidentally threw them in my cart because they were 10.
Oh, these aren't.
Dang
These
it.
aren't like up. These aren't even like upgraded tiles.
They're
like
doubles. They're the exact same thing you already have.
Oh, excess. I thought this was more like a Marvel United thing where they kind of upgraded the tiles, which I'm just like, this should have just been upgraded in the first place.
Yeah.
If this is just an extra set, no, get this out of my face. You don't need those.
No.
Nope.
I will not be playing at like a 12-person game of this. I can tell you that right now.
No.
Unless PvP is that good.
Pardon?
Unless the PvP is that good. 6 versus 6.
That's true. Then I'll be kicking myself after. But
you'll still have enough. If you go all in, you'll have enough tiles to do it. You won't need 2 Fantastic Four things unless you're trying to make your own like capture the flag map.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, okay. Well, then the plastic token things. Come on, CMON, just make them
Standard
to begin with.
Yep.
We're already paying over $100 for a core box. Give me some. Replace the cardboard with a little bit more plastic.
I have to agree. The plastic tokens are excess. I'm probably going to get them. I have them in the other games. They are nicer. They're not necessary. The one thing that I would say is if they had doors like they had in like Invader and a couple of the other ones, they didn't do it for second edition, but like in Zombicide Invader, you've got like the sci-fi door that's 3D and you like open it and you kick it open. Like,
fun.
It's fun. It's cool. They have doors like that for Black Plague and Green Horde. And I think if they had those, I'd say that those are a must because they're just so much fun. But the tokens, like, it's excess. They feel nice, but they're really not bringing anything more on the table. If you're not a collector, you don't need it.
Yeah.
No. That's for the completionist junkies. That's like Ryan, Rob, Anna Marie, Jason of like last year.
Yeah. From December.
I'm thinking about it, but it's not tickling my fancy. I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I'll decide. I'll have to go check my components that I have and like weigh the value of them one versus the other.
Yeah.
And then an extra set of dice for $10. This was already kind of around everything. Now, if you're going all in, like the 2 core boxes already come with a set of dice each. So there's 2 sets of dice.
Yeah.
But what they don't tell you, they aren't custom dice. They're just regular D6s.
That's what I was going to ask. Are they custom?
D6s, regular D6s.
Yeah, they just have like these. Is the teeth marks just like the 1?
The teeth, the 1, and then you've got the like the blood splatter.
Yeah.
No, get those out of my face.
Buy one, just have one fun set when I've spent enough money. So I might. But I don't.
Yeah, it's kind of at that point.
What's an extra $10?
What's an extra $10?
Well, I mean, with Cthulhu Death May Die, they released marbled dice, and I got the ones for Massive Darkness that are also marbled dice. So, like, they're at least fancier, like, besides just what's on them.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, that's everything that came out after last episode.
Yeah, so you heard our thoughts on everything. I think now we can go ahead and I'll let our guests continue telling you what they backed. And the pledge master here, Ryan, who will.
Well, one interesting thing that I did do before the show started that I noted that I'm just going to zoom. Okay, 28,973 backers.
Wow!
And if you go through all these pledge levels, they only add up to 21,600 backers, which means there's 7,300 backers that are not accounted for, which are probably backers like me. That only pledged for $1 ish in that like $1 to $10 range.
Yeah. That are waiting for the pledge manager.
Wait for the pledge manager.
Yeah.
They don't want to drop all their money right now, type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how many do we have at the Undead pledge? 4,200?
4,263 at the Undead. So that's just the base box.
Yeah.
You still get a whole schwack load of stuff.
But you don't get the X-Men.
Yeah. Resistance, ended up with 5,180
Yep.
chunk. The Galactus pledge dropped down to 1,600.
Well, you know where they went.
We all know where they went. The Hungry pledge, 4,400 backers. And then, the big old Devourer pledge, 6,200 people already dropping their money right now, unlocking all those stretch goals for CMON in the final push.
Yeah.
Well, we went from day one after
I think Ryan was going.
Oh, was he? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you guys go ahead. It doesn't matter.
We right from at the end of the last episode, we went in on the what is it listed as? The Galactus pledge, which was the 410 American. But since all this other stuff, we're probably leaning towards a full-on everything.
We have a problem.
Because we've never, obviously, it's an ungodly amount of money. I understand that. But once we're already spending a horrible amount of money, the way we were looking at it is like, if we spend like $200 more, we get everything. Like when we're already spending $600, like what's another $200 or whatever? It's
like, what's another $10 for dice?
Yeah.
What's another $200 for all these extra game?
But then
I spent a horrendous amount of money on Madara. And I justify that by calculating out how many hours the 3 acts are going to take me. And it came down to a reasonable amount per hour. If it actually takes me 150 hours. Now I'm just too busy to get the damn thing to the table.
That's the thing with this is I see us playing this game for years. And like including all those different types of scenarios and taking these random combinations of heroes. Like you take like Hero Juggernaut and Gambit and Old Man Logan and like versus like zombie Doctor Strange or just all these crazy combinations that you can come up with to play this game. I think it's just going to be an endless amount of things to do. It'll take probably 10 years to do that, but I think it's
so
like you said,
$1,000
right?
divided by 10 years.
Well, so honestly, you take that $1,000 that this is probably going to cost, and
it's only
divide it over a
year.
5-6 year period of coming up with random scenarios, things to do. I don't see it as that big of a deal.
And we have never gone like 100% all in.
No,
on one before.
No.
So
that's where I think we're going to lean and just say, screw it. This game looks too fun and too crazy to not do it. I think I would regret not doing it.
I've never played a terrible game of Zombicide. I play games that got tense. I played the things that went a little sideways, but I've never played a game where I've been like, they're like, this sucked. And I hated every minute of it. Like things just weren't going on our way. We lost. Like that's never happened. It's always been very winnable. Sometimes it's just the bad die rolls or you don't quite get that item that you need, but nothing that makes you like swear at the game. So I agree with you. I think you're going to have a lot of fun with this for a long time.
Yeah.
We'll need to get a new shelf.
Yeah.
But,
but yeah, I just think I think I would regret not getting it. And if it turns out to be something that we don't want or we're not playing, then the resale value is instantly there. So I don't see any reason not to do it. Either we're going to enjoy it and get our money's worth over the next 5 years or whatever, or we don't enjoy it, we sell it, and we get all our money plus back.
This one will gain value. This won't be like Marvel United. Like Marvel United, I think is a great game, but I sold mine. I sold mine essentially for what I paid for it because there's too many differing opinions on like who it's for. I'm not saying it's a bad game or anything, it just wasn't for us. But this is the game that is for everyone that likes a beer and pretzels game, and it's got Marvel galore. And other people were mentioning in the comments, and even I followed on the Facebook group, if you don't want to play against the zombies because if you're playing with younger kids, well, you sub in the shield agents. Like pick all the characters that are typically villains and play villains versus shield agents.
Yeah, sure. Exactly.
Sure.
Make it even more family friendly if you want to.
Totally.
And if you get everything, like Rob was saying, you can create pretty much whatever scenario you want.
You literally can. You can get like combinations of characters just from your dreams, right? And do what you want, really.
Yeah.
You know, Moon Knight and Juggernaut, right? Dynamic duo. It's never happened, but here it's going to happen, right?
Like you got to play as 6 characters unless you scale back the spawns.
Yeah, sure.
The whole game is
Like,
designed around 6 hero characters. So if it's just you and Anna Marie playing, you'll each have 3 heroes, which
Right.
is not nearly as bad as it sounds because those player boards that store everything, it just goes in your player board. It's right there.
and I would look forward to grabbing a new 3 every time, you know, and not necessarily 3 like that would work together thematically. I think like just 3 random characters would be super fun to try.
And that's how you find broken combinations.
Yeah.
But that'd be fun too, knowing that that's, you know, a possibility that
Yeah,
is probably going to happen.
There's just a lot of like fantasies from my childhood about thinking about like certain characters that would be cool if they showed up in certain situations outside of their norms, and you can do that here. I just think it's super cool.
You just reminded me of the Eternals movie where I was like, the entire end of the movie, I was like, where is someone that's not an Eternal? You're trying to tell me that everyone's just letting this happen and doesn't care there's a hand sticking out of the no one's showing up to even say like, what's going on, guys?
So true.
Yeah, it's true. Oh boy. Notice the Eternals are nowhere to be found on this.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do another movie, and it wasn't terrible, but like, man, that was just an example of what not to do when you're producing new characters.
They should have been slowly introduced into other films, and that's a whole other discussion.
Yeah.
Anyway, summarize it. I think it should have been a TV show because everything in the past was more interesting than what was actually going on.
Right? Yeah. Fair enough. But yeah, I don't know. Like how it's just cool to think of combinations. Like you take the Human Torch and I don't know, just people that Spider-Man, right? So you have these 2 people that just don't really do things together, and Venom. You take a hero Venom.
Better. You can be like, you know what? Like here's Dr. Doom and Sue Storm against like Zombie Reed Richards, and Doom is like, you're finally mine,
right? Yeah, that's neat. It's neat to think about. It's just there's it's endless amounts of possibilities with this.
And Dark Phoenix just comes and destroys Galactus.
Right? Mista Rau, what are you going in on?
Okay, so everybody heard my thoughts in the last episode. I'm in for $1. They're going to get all of my monies in the Pledge Manager. And I'm pretty sure because I just did a big, massive game purge from my own collection. And I'm pretty sure I raised enough funds that I can go all in on this thing. So,
At the Devourer?
Oh yeah, I have enough funds that I'll go devour. I even got space on my shelf that opened up now. And
Excellent.
I'll wait for 2 years for this thing to finally, maybe just over a year and a half. I'll split the difference.
Split shipping, you'll have part of it in October.
Yeah, I'll probably save some money on shipping. I'll just get it all shipped to me all at once. That's what I did with Marvel United. I had no regrets.
You really didn't miss anything. And honestly, for the cost of split shipping, you could have just went and bought a box at Walmart for cheaper and resold it at that point. That's what actually happened.
Yeah.
No, I'm probably pretty sure I'm going to be doing the Devourer pledge, and I'm not going to add on any of that extra superfluous.
No, us either.
Double tile set and, what was the other thing? I can't
tokens, like the plastic tokens.
I'm not going to get no plastic tokens. I'm not going to play this thing enough times to justify plastic tokens. So, yeah, no, same reason for Rob and everything like that. And then by the time this is fulfilling, my kids are going to get a little bit older.
Yep.
Those like this is all like future planning.
Yep.
Right now.
That's good parenting, Ryan. That is good parenting.
Right? Like I took a gamble on that Marvel United, and then when it finally fulfilled, Regan was old enough And he's like, oh, this thing's awesome. Look at all these superheroes and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, nailed it.
You got a proven system. Like it.
Buy a game a year and a half in advance.
The problem is now when you put this in front of him, he's going to look at Marvel United and be like, when are you getting that off the shelf, Dad?
But that will probably be a discussion for a later time. Because we still got the young guy. The young guy will do Marvel United.
Yeah.
But he's going to take one look at Galactus and be just like, yeah, I think we have to play with that every single time.
Yeah.
Or like the Galactus is going to have to go in his room or something on his shelf.
Yeah. And then you make sure that when he goes to college, you'll be like, by the way, that's mine, unless you're buying
that's mine.
By the way, whose money was spent on these things again? Oh, right. Make sure you start up a games club at college.
Yep.
We're going to have two funds for you. You have your education fund. Now you have your game fund. Let's start this young, child. You're going to need it.
Yeah, well, he's into Pokemon cards, so he's not going to have any money for like drugs or anything.
No,
like that.
No, yeah.
Unless he learns how to sell his Pokemon cards.
Oh, we've already had good conversations about value of cards. He's gotten some good ones over the past year. He's just like, I want to play it. That's not a playable card. That one's going in like.
Want to play it? You put in a photocopier, you put it in a sleeve, and you play the one in the sleeve. The other one stays in a drawer.
No, I've been printing off stuff on card stock and putting it on. There you go. There's your playable card.
We haven't done that. We probably should have. We have like thousands of Pokemon cards.
I can't even.
I don't even. Yeah, I wouldn't even begin to know where to begin to look at that. Yeah. But again, another conversation.
I'm kicking myself because I accidentally I didn't realize it got up in value, but I got rid of like my stack of double lands this thick from Magic.
Oh,
that are each worth like $200-$300 each.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh.
Yeah.
We can't tell the future. Dual lands.
They're a lot of money.
They make the world go round.
They do.
And I'm just thinking about like my old boxes of Fallen Empire and stuff, and I'm like, what was I thinking?
I still have all my Magic from when I was in middle school in the late 90s.
Well, there you go. If you need to pay for this, just sell some dual.
Right?
Yeah.
Sell 5 of them and you're good.
Boxes of it right there.
There's a guy here in Saskatoon. Used to chat with him quite often. He would tell me stories that he paid for his wedding by just selling off some Magic cards.
Oh my gosh, that's insane! Oh, can you imagine?
Wow,
what a way to pay for your wedding. That's a cool story.
We'll all be able to pay for all our firstborn's wedding by selling off Marvel in 15 years or 20 years.
No, we're going to be playing this game at the wedding.
Yeah.
Oh, the Galactus on every table.
Right.
This wedding is sponsored by CMON.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice little, the table centers. Nice big Galactus. That's awesome.
I like it.
Sentinels, Galactus.
Sentinels, yeah.
Oh,
too bad there was no apocalypse.
Right.
Yeah.
You know they're saving that for another game, right? If this goes well and they decide to extend the license, they need someone for another game.
Yeah. It's true.
It's true. Oh, that's one of my favorites.
Change up the game system. You're going to get a box that just has cards that makes all these miniatures compatible with the other game system that they put it in.
Yeah.
Right. Just like what they did with Marvel United. They came out with the second Marvel United. Everything's cross-compatible.
Yep.
That's nice.
Those come out with Marvel Zombies, extra stuff.
Extra stuff,
or you'll spend another $600.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm currently in on the Galactus pledge, but I don't think there's much more to say. I'm going for the Devourer pledge. I'm gonna upgrade in the pledge manager.
Yeah.
I didn't want to feel the pain all at once, so I'll spread that out. Get this spark paid off. I got some games up for sale. Unfortunately, I haven't been as lucky as Ryan selling off my games. No one wants my.
Oh, the people here in Saskatoon just ate up whatever I had for just ate it all up. I'm like, okay, go. Yes. Bring it in.
I'm gonna have to get into some
All
of the
day long.
few that I'm like, I don't know if I want to sell that. I'm looking at it, I'm like, I might just have to put that up for sale to pay for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just going in head first. We'll be Devour Pledge for sure. And
I might actually do the plastic tokens and the extra tiles. Now, there's only one reason I would do that. A, the little guy is young. So having extra tiles, if he's going to want to play with them, might be a good idea. Yeah, exactly. And then the plastic tokens will just mean that if he wants to touch the tokens, I have to worry about them getting destroyed.
That's fair.
That's fair.
It's like, yeah, he's a lot younger than your kids, but if he decides he wants to play, like when he's maybe about like 3 or 4, it might be better to have just some replacement components just in case. But,
And those plastic tokens, they don't seem like bad value. It seems like you're getting a lot for $30.
It
It's
seems
not,
alright,
yeah, it's not like a bad value or anything.
no, I just have to decide when it actually comes in the pledge manager. But the Devour Pledge for sure, those are definitely excessive, but they kind of fit my specific situation. So
Yeah.
that's really where I'm going with that.
But CMON, really, that just needs to be standard.
Yeah.
Just put it in the core box right from the get-go.
It should just be Kickstarter exclusive. The Kickstarter sets should just come with the plastic tokens. And then the retail ones should just not have plastic.
Right?
Mind blown.
My mind blowing. Who's the marketing person at CMON? I want them to comment on this video.
This is like our discussion of Fractal, which some people took offense to. And we basically said, why would I buy this without a solo mode?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh yeah, that blew up. I remember that. Yeah.
Hey, I am entitled to my opinions.
No, because look, I think certain things should be included when you're getting it on Kickstarter. And if you're doing this big epic game, it should have plastic tokens.
Yeah.
If, we're in the middle of a pandemic and people are giving away solo modes for free, I don't want to spend $50 Canadian on your solo mode. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hammer, bring the gavel down. Sold.
I think that's definitely the perfect place to end it. So we're all going in for the Devourer Pledge. The second time that I think we're all like at the same level.
Yeah.
Well, you did mention it last time that if one of us did not, you're going to be like super like jealous.
That's true. You did
Wouldn't
say
be able
that.
to live with myself.
And full of lots of regret.
Well, especially because if we ever did it's coming, the What You've Been Playing Wednesday con, that if there was one of us that didn't have a Galactus, we would all bring our Galactus just to show the person that didn't have a Galactus.
Yeah. Bring it as carry-on on the plane. What's that? Oh, nothing. Just something I need to show when I get to the con. That's all.
Yeah. And then you just have them all on the table, and then one person that's like did not get it. It's like, man,
totally shamed.
That's what happened with Cthulhu Death May Die. It came out at one of the Friday night game nights, and I sat at the table across, and I was just like, damn.
Started crying.
I hate myself.
I've got a friend of mine with Death May Die who he was telling me why he wasn't backing it. Then I backed it. Then I played it, and I told him, he goes, "Is it good?" I go, "Yeah, you screwed up like huge." Like, it is by far the best Cthulhu game that there is, like bar none. And I played like most of the Arkham Horror games. Maybe if you like Social Deduction, Unfathomable. When you're talking about like compared to like Arkham Horror and some of the other stuff, like forget it. If you want like a cooperative Cthulhu game, it's the best. Cthulhu Wars is its own thing, but I think you got to be really into that to make it work.
Yeah.
So on that note, I think we are done here. So I'm going to let our guests tell you once again where to find them, and then we will take it out.
Guess I can stop sharing the screen now.
Yeah, again, I've been Rob.
And Anna Marie.
And we are the Meeple Dungeon out here in Kelowna, BC. You can follow us on Twitter at Meeple Dungeon, on YouTube, the Meeple Dungeon, and on our podcast, which is we're going to be recording our 24th episode right after we're done here, which will be out later this week. And that's on all the major podcasting sites.
And we're on the What You've Been Playing Wednesdays too.
And What You've Been Playing Wednesdays.
Yeah, and I've been Ryan from the Bridge City Board Gamer community here in Saskatoon, formerly of Cardboard Conjecture, but definitely go check out Cardboard Conjecture and What You've Been Playing Wednesdays. Norm is the madman himself, still producing 2 episodes a week of content, and it's been awesome. He just had Rolling Dice and Taking Names come up on the podcast just this past episode, which was a hilarious romp of board gaming discussion. So definitely go check out that episode. And yes, What You've Been Playing Wednesdays coming out every Wednesday there.
All right. And I will remind everyone to like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell so that YouTube will let you know when our next video is released. Now, this show isn't a regular show. I'm sure we're going to be back. We might actually be back sooner rather than later with Astro Nights coming, since I'm a huge Aeon's End fan. And I know that Ryan and Robin and Anna Maria are kind of interested as this is their gateway with a successor. So maybe we'll be back in a little bit shorter time period. We do this when we find something that piques our fancy. And then take a look down below in the video description. You'll find links to all of our Dice and Dragons social media feeds. You'll be able to find us on What You've Been Playing Wednesdays. When we get that out there, you see pictures as to what has arrived on our doorstep, which is a lot more than probably should be arriving. Still working on that reform. I don't have the t-shirt yet. Reformed backer. Now, you know what? I really think I need to make those and I think they would actually be hot.
Definitely.
That'd be definitely something you take to a con and everything. People are like, yeah, I'll take one of those.
Yeah, right. Totally.
Yeah, so that's coming hopefully in the near future. So make sure to check that out. Also, you can find a link down there to multizone.ca, great Canadian game store. Click that link, you'll get 10% off your next purchase. As a way to support the channel, as a portion of that purchase comes back to us. So check them out. They also do Kickstarters like CMON. So if you're in the Ottawa, Gatineau area, definitely you might want to swing by and see what they can do. Maybe they can still get you a copy of this, even though it's closed, because retailer pledges are still open. So there you go. And then we're going to remind everyone that we need to keep playing games.